everybody, Kanisha the Creator here, and I am here today to do my first, well, episodic reviews. I changed my mind about what I'm going to do. For today, I am going to do episode reviews. And these are going to be reviews on the anime Dean and Angel and Kiss Him Not Me. This first one is going to be of Dean and Angel. Now see, I hate it. See, in Dean and Angel, I was still a new anime watcher. I didn't know much about subs. So far, I had only watched dubs. So I watched the dub version of this. If y'all are cringing about that, I'm kind of cringing now too. I'm sorry. Anyway, here's how it starts. It starts with a statue being destroyed. It's shown in the theme song. It shows an angel, and I think it's kind of like a darkness inside it, but like they never really explain it. But anyway, Dark and his other half, which is more of an angel figure, are fighting, and then Dark seals Angel with some feathers as the clock ticks. And the angel side of him is like, "You're about to seal me away? Are you crazy?" In the episode, they don't really reveal why that's crazy. Anyway, then the episode skips to 40 years later, where Daisuke is with his grandpa and his mother. Except it doesn't reveal to be them just yet. They show them in cloaks doing like some kind of ritual and being like, after 40 years, the prophecy is about to be revealed. And then Daisuke takes off the hood and reveals his red hair, and it's like, "Grandpa, don't tell me this is what you brought me down for." And it's like, "No, that's not it." And then he's almost about to be late, so he runs out of the house, goes to the train, and throughout the way he sees a bunch of people, and through his mind he is trying to be a more confident version of himself instead of like I think he said dork, or it could have been geek or something. I know of something along those lines. Anyway, the thing is, Daisuke wants to give this note to his crush Risa. He thinks he has everything planned with remembering which train line that Risa takes and everything. In between, we just meet a bunch of random townsfolk that are saying hi to Daisuke because he's always known as running a bit late, but they all keep pointing out how he's early. Anyway, unfortunately, Daisuke's plans don't work because, unfortunately, the train had to be re-renovated, and he ended up on the wrong side. Instead, Risa was all the way in the front, and he was in the back. Now, at first, he was going to talk to Risa, but then he got distracted by her beauty and then didn't talk to her until they both got off the train. And then at first he was going to say good morning, but then he tripped, being like a klutz and everything. And then the episode skips to both of them walking, and like, well, at first Daisuke kind of mostly apologizes for his clumsiness, even though it wasn't like one of those comedic moments, where like the guy falls onto the girl. It was more of like their faces were close, like kind of close, like in those kissing scenes, close. but really nothing happened. It's not like he accidentally kissed her or anything. Nothing like that happened. So the fact that he was saying sorry so many times, it was kind of ridiculous. And then Risa was saying like, you don't have to derail yourself. And then she was just pointing out how Daisuke is just so nice. And then he was like, oh, really? And then he thought that was going somewhere, so he tries to get out the note that he's about to give her. And then she does the one thing you don't always want to see. You don't want to see in most anime, romance or not. And she says, you're just my best friend. And then boom, he was like, best friend? He just looks so depressed. And then he's like, because of how shocked he is, he accidentally drops the note, and Risa picks it up and is like, oh, what's this? And then he immediately takes it away. He's like, oh, no, it's nothing. I just really like your name, and I was just practicing writing it. Yeah, that's it. And then he's like, oh, okay. So then the screen switches, and it shows Risa and her sister Riku. And while she's riding her bike and Riku is running, she asks Riku, what does it mean when a guy writes a note with your name on it? And then Riku's like, well, that normally means it normally means that it's a love letter. It's like, Daisuke was trying to give me a love letter? He's like, but he didn't really give it to me, so I didn't really worry about it. And then Riku was like, well maybe it wasn't for you. And then she was like, well, but it had my name on it. So But then she was like, I feel bad for Daisuke if he does have a crush on me, because really, I don't want just an average, ordinary guy. I want an extraordinary guy. And I'm like, girl, you're setting your bar up way too high. I'm just thinking about that. She's setting her bar up way too high. Then anyway, the screen switches to Daisuke and him. And he was sleeping and at first he was dozing off about what Risa said and how he was friend zoned. And then his friend is talking to him. I didn't write what his friend's name is, so I didn't catch his name. Maybe the next episode I'll tell you what his name is, but I didn't catch his name, so I didn't write it down. Anyway, his friend is like, my father said that there's going to... Wait, no, not his father. No, somebody else. I'm pretty sure he was like, a friend of mine was saying some big stuff is going to go... No, I said some big stuff is going to go down. So can you do the cleaning duties in the art room for me? Thanks. He was like, wait, what just happened? So then Daisuke goes to the art room where we get introduced to Hiwatari. And I'm not going to mention who importantly he is just yet. Anyway, that is surprised to see Hiwatari, and Hiwatari reveals that he's cleaning in the art room just as Daisuke is doing. He's like, don't you think it's a little rude that nobody else is helping us clean? And then, I swear, I hate this moment because I'm pretty sure it probably isn't only in the English version, but I didn't watch the Japanese version, so I don't know for sure. But I swear, this moment is literally queerbait. Like, literally, this guy said, I told the classmates I could handle this on my own. And here's what I wrote. That is literally what he said. I said I want to be alone with you. Are you free tonight? And even though later, if not even a few seconds later, he said, no, I just wanted to talk about art. I swear at that moment, the way that English voice actor voice that literally that literally was a queer bait moment. I swear, I may have watched too many yaoi, but I swear the way he said that, it wasn't just he was gonna talk about paintings moment. I watched too many yaoi, but I swear that moment felt so queer baity. And that's not even the only moment that I'm going to mention when I'm doing these episodic reviews, that they have freaking queer bait, that they are queer bait. They are having a queer bait moment between Hiratari and Daisuke. I swear I don't know how it's possible, but they keep doing that. They did it throughout the whole entire series, and I kind of spoiled it. Sorry. Oh, I should have mentioned, I already watched Dean and Angel. I already watched Dean and Angel, the English version. I haven't watched the Japanese version, so I probably should have watched that. But I'm not going to give you a full episode review of the Japanese version because I don't feel like watching. I don't feel like watching that. I might do it next week, but not now. Anyway, Daisuke reveals that today is his birthday. And the screen switches to Daisuke. Daisuke is still feeling down, and then he looks at the clock, and then he realizes, oh no, my mom's said like a few minutes from 5, and so he immediately runs to the house, and he opens the door, and he's like, I'm home, and then he notices it's completely silent, so he's like, something ain't right here, so he slowly enters the house, and almost falls into a booby trap that makes almost the entire floor disappear. Then he makes a joke about like, great, now where am I supposed to put my shoes? So he keeps running, and then he runs into a bunch of booby traps, which he dodges very easily. And anyway, after he makes it into the kitchen, his mom hugs him and is like, I'm so proud of you. You were able to dodge those booby traps so easily. And then the grandma was like, you've grown in fear. You have grown into a very skillful young man. At first, you couldn't even be able to type in a combination. But now you can do all this. And then Daisuke starts walking upstairs, and he's like, I'm sorry, Grandpa, I'd love to hear you praise yourself, but right now I'm kind of down. He doesn't fully say that, but that's like how he's feeling. And anyway, then he sees his painting that he did, Arisa, is like, it's not covered by like a purple, I don't know, what is it, like a blanket or something? Yeah. Anyway, that is revealed, and then he starts feeling a little strange and falls to his knees, and his hair, and then he runs, and then it switches to Chief Hiratari. He sees Chief Hiratari, and the screen switches to Chief Hiratari getting a note saying that the Phantom Thief Dark will try and steal this artifact. And he's like, well, I got a bunch of security, so let's see him try. Brother, I'm getting Detective Conan feels. But Detective Conan handled it way better. Sorry, DNA Angel. But I just made it had a more enjoyable character. No offense for Chief Hiratari, but it was from what I remember, that guy was an okay character. But I like, huh? Sorry, guys. Must be getting the jitters again. I thought I saw somebody. But the way I was seeing that person, they were way too tall. So either it was a shadow messing with me or it's my eyes messing with me. Probably it's my eyes. Anyway, anyway, then the screen switches to Daisuke seeing that his hair is now purple. Excuse me. Seeing that his hair is now purple, and then he asks his mom and grandpa what's going on, and his mom is, "Oh, the day has finally come." And then she reveals, "Didn't I tell you about the gene?" And he's like, "Oh, I remember now. What? I don't want to be a thief." And then she's like, "Well, it's kind of too late. I already sent the message that you were going to steal the artifact." And then she also reveals, "The only way you can return back to your normal self is by stealing the artifact." And he's like, "Fine, I'll steal the artifact, but I'm not going to like it." Oh, and also there's this thing, I think it's called like Quinn or something. It's a little kind of bunny bat kind of figure that is it mostly I can't tell. I don't think they ever reveal what kind of creature it is, but anyway, if Daisuke puts the creature over his shoulders while he's dark, black wings will appear. And then he flies off and heads to the museum. Chief Hiratari and many people are shocked to actually see Dark. And then, oh, if you're wondering who Dark is Daisuke's kind of alternate personality, but he's also like it's like a heritage thing where each male in the each male in the family each male in the family mostly becomes each male in the family that is shown becomes Dark, who is the Phantom Knight. And anyway, now that that's established, Daisuke as Dark heads to the museum. Everybody sees his wings and everything. Chief Hiratari is shocked to see this because he was thinking that he would appear in a robe. And then soon Dark disappears into the museum. And then Chief Hiratari is like, "Everybody get inside. We need to find Dark and hunt him down." And anyway, then Chief Hiratari and the security try and find Dark. And then it's revealed that and then they say that Dark entered through the front door, and then, why do I keep saying Chief Hiratari? I'm sorry, wrong person. Just the detective. The detective, whatever that guy's name is, I forgot his name. Why do I keep saying Chief? Detective. The detective, woo, I'm so sorry that I keep mixing up his Chief Hiratari, who is the father of Satoshi Hiratari, who is the guy I was talking about that was in the art room before. Anyway, I'm sorry I keep mixing up the father of that guy with the detective. I'm sorry. Anyway, the detective, I hope I get this right. The detective and the security try and find Dark and get diverted to the front entrance. And Daisuke as Dark passes the security lasers and unlocks the combination and tries to grab the figure. But then Hiratari is revealed, and Daisuke is surprised by this. He's like, "What is Hiratari doing here?" And then he sees that then Hiratari tackles him and says that his mission is to capture Dark. And then the real Dark. See, Daisuke Daisuke, when it comes to being dark, has two different personalities. There's a regular Daisuke, and then there's the dark. And then there's the dark personality. Anyway, Dark takes over, and he makes a clone of himself. And that clone distracts. And then that clone thing distracts Hiwatari, and Dark gets away with the figure. And Hiwatari says this is gonna be way more interesting. And then Dark disappears. Dark somehow ends up flying over Risa and Riku's house. But when he sees Risa, he feels like he's about to change back to normal because of feelings of love that Daisuke has for Risa. Anyway, he feeling a little bit weak, lands on the balcony. At first, Risa is there on the balcony looking out the window and everything. But then Riku tells her that the bath is ready, so Risa goes inside, but Riku is still outside on the balcony. And at that moment when Dark landed on the balcony, that scared Riku, and Riku was about to scream. But then to make her be quiet, he kisses her. And then that's the end of the episode. Crazy, right? I will admit, for the first episode, it did get... First episode, I do remember back then that the first episode was what really actually made me think, I actually do want to watch this. And my feelings still feel the same. This thing literally does make me want to continue watching this series. Because it's like, we got introduced to major points in the story that actually make me feel like, yep, I definitely like this. And why do I have to be such a Fujoshi though too? It's kind of funny because I know who Daisuke is going to end up with in the end. But at the same time, it's weird because I kind of ship him with Hiwatari. It's like they're both... I won't reveal what they're both going through, but they're going through similar things. So it's kind of like they're going through similar things with their personalities. So it's like they would be almost perfect as a couple. So I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna queer bait. I'm going to stop. Anyway, that's the first episode. That's my review of the first episode of Demon and Angel. Have any of y'all watched Demon and Angel? Did y'all watch the English version, or did y'all watch the Japanese version? Or did y'all watch both, and obviously y'all like the Japanese version better? I couldn't help myself. Like I said, this was when I watched Demon and Angel, this was when I first started getting into anime. And when I first started getting into anime, obviously I watched the dub, not the sub. Oh, by the way, if y'all want to watch the full dub series just out of interest, it's on YouTube. That's why I decided to watch Demon and Angel and Kiss Them Not Me, because both of those are fully available. Are fully available on YouTube. So yeah. Bye. Subscribe and like in the comment below.